I want to talk about the Andrew Wiggins aspect of this because Steve Kerr had some interesting stuff to say this morning on the Morning Roast. If you missed it, Steve Kerr joined Bonte and Joe on the Morning Roast. He was unable to join FP and Mark yesterday afternoon, so he, of course, always, like a Lannister, he always pays his debts. Steve Kerr coming on this morning with the guys. It was a terrific interview. You can catch it on the Odyssey app, but he talked about Andrew Wiggins and how the team is really starting to make a concerted effort to get him involved. Here is the head coach from this morning, Steve Kerr.
We're definitely putting him in more high ball screens than we were earlier in the year, and we have better spacing right now. If you think about the last few weeks, whether it's J.K. or Trace, either way, we've got Steph and Clay out on the floor. So there's good spacing for Wiggs to attack downhill, and we can switch quite a bit defensively too with that group. So he's really just found a good rhythm. He's put the work in, and he's playing with a lot of confidence. And he's one of the main reasons we've been winning a lot of games lately.
And I just want to add this: Wiggs has been drinking his milk too, and that's why he's playing so well.
That was a great addendum. I'll give you a 2 for your Steve Kerr, but it's upgraded to a 3 because that was really funny and well timed. What do you make of what he said? He says everything dancing around to me, which is the number one reality, which is Andrew's just playing harder. Are you buying it, though, that it's spacing and combinations and they're trying to find him and get him more involved?
I think it's his mindset that I'm good. And I'm not taking a back seat right now, and I'm gonna assert myself like everybody's been telling me all year. And everyone's been saying we won a championship because of you. And I think Steve realizes it, and Steve's trying to put him in situations that are conducive to him being successful in scoring. So actually drawing up plays so that he'll shoot. Like, this play's for you, bro. Take a shot. Like, this is designed for you. We need you right here. Not Steph, not Clay, not Pods, you. This is for you. So that's, I think, if you're reading to what he was saying right there, it's like we're creating things to help him assert himself more.
Yeah, it's working because, as I mentioned, 3 of the last 4 games, Andrew Wiggins has been over the 20-point mark, and the Warriors have won all 4 of those games. In fact, the Warriors have won 5 in a row. More from Steve Kerr on the Morning Roast today. And one thing that we're going to look at again and kind of took the drama out of the question, who do you start, with Jonathan Kuminga officially being ruled out for tonight's game against the Houston Rockets. So the expectation is Stephen Clay, Draymond, Wiggins, and TJD. This morning, Steve Kerr talked about exactly what he likes about the combination with Wiggins, TJD, and Draymond all on the floor together.
Well, number one, I think they're all playing well at the same time. So when we're putting them together right now, we're getting great ball pressure from Wiggs. We get rim protection from Trace, and it allows Draymond to play a little bit of center field, where he can kind of roam the paint and thwart drivers and force passes back out to the perimeter. And I think there's a psychological component too. Draymond loves having a shot blocker next to him so that he can really kind of patrol and take care of everything that's out there. When he's the center, and he's really good at it, and we play him a lot at the 5, he just doesn't have as much help at the rim. And so there are times where I can see him get a little frustrated, and those are the times where we kind of can sense, like, let's get another big in there. Let's help Draymond out a little bit and fortify our defense.
Really kind of gives him that 3 levels of defense now, FP. And, I couldn't help but giggle when Steve was talking about ball pressure, thinking about your days playing baseball with a jockstrap on. But I promised myself I wouldn't mention that as we continue to do serious radio here. But ball pressure.
Had the same cup my whole career.
It's so gross.
14 years, the same cup. Yes, my whole career. I have it. I have it in a shelf. It's.
You had better not.
Yeah, it's got all that white athletic tape because it cracked a couple of times. The same cup for 14 years. I don't want to tell you,
did you ever wash it? And if so, did that thing go in the dishwasher?
You don't wash your cup because it doesn't go. It goes in the holder, and then that goes over sliding shorts. So no, you never wash. Sorry to change the subject on the layers of defense that the Warriors are playing.
You had your own layers of defense, quite frankly. You had your own. You had the strap, you had the cup, and then you had the tighty whities.
Yes, there you go. No, I get what he's saying. The That's where the aggressive.
To draw the parallel, the cup would be like Draymond roaming center field, and then the strap would be the ball pressure, which would be provided by Wiggins in this analogy, and then you would have TJD the rim protection. Although maybe the cup would be the rim protection. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of the ways I can go with the rim protection there that I'm not gonna because this is a family show. But yeah, when they're talking about aggressive with Wiggins, and everybody's been talking to him all year, and that's what. Do we have the Chris Paul quote from yesterday? The sound from yesterday where he's talking about that. Are they talking about on both ends of the court? Are they talking about on defense? We need because he's locked down defense when he wants to be. Are they talking about? On offense, we need you to be aggressive and more assertive, or is it just like in general, bro? We need you to go out there and just ball out, be super aggressive. Do you have that?
Well, the way I heard him say it was on both ends. It's not only be aggressive defensively, but it's like you're talking about when you have the ball offensively, look to score and look to attack, and that's what Andrew has started doing more and more. You look at the shot attempts over these last few games. He's been in double digits for the last 5 games, all wins, and I don't think that that's coincidental.
All right, this is what we had. We had fun with this quote yesterday, Dibs, and I'm sure you heard it. This is Chris Paul talking about Andrew Wiggins.
Wiggs probably gets the most junk talked to him on our team. I think it's because everybody knows what he's capable of, and we're a totally different team when he's aggressive. If you ever see us in the starting lineups before they walk on the court and dap each other up, the only thing I say to Wiggs is be aggressive. We're a totally different team because he is so good, and it unlocks everybody else on our team.
It's fascinating when you hear him say he's the guy who gets more junk talked to him than anybody else in the team. And I'm hearing him say that, and I'm thinking it's his own teammates talking junk to him, right?
Yeah, I don't know what that meant, talking junk. Does that mean like we rag on him all the time on the bus, on the plane, like he's the target in the locker room that we have fun with? Or is it like we're talking junk like you need to like step it up, bro? Like you don't realize how good you are. Like let's go. Like we need you. You unlock everybody else. Do you realize how good you are? So I'm trying to interpret that. I love reading into quotes. It's one of my favorite things to do, like whether it's in print or sound. And the intonation you can deal with a little bit better when it's in sound versus print.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. Maybe they get on him a lot. Maybe he's the target a lot. Or maybe they're just like, bro, do you know how good you are? Do you know we can do some things if you are aggressive on both ends. We can shock some people this year that aren't really expecting us to do things. I don't know.
Yeah, and I can refer you to 2 years ago when he did those things and everyone talking about two-way Wiggs, and he was a dominant two-way player. He was just one Steph Curry outburst away from being the finals MVP, for crying out loud. I mean, he was that close in my mind through 4 or 5 games until Steph went to Boston and did what he did. Andrew was playing that well to where there was a little bit of a question, at least, as to who the MVP should be in the NBA Finals. So I think that they're talking junk to him on the bus, in the locker room, on the court. They're doing everything they can to get that Andrew Wiggins to be the one that shows up night in and night out, because you look at how he's played, and I wonder if it's coincidence that it's happening while Jonathan Kuminga's been out, or if it's caused by the fact that Jonathan Kuminga has been out. I guess we'll find out when Kuminga gets over the knee tendonitis, but in the meantime, having Kuminga out has given Wiggins a wide berth to do the things that they need him to do.
I got breaking news for you. That tendonitis ain't going away for Kuminga. It ain't going anywhere in a couple of weeks. So he's either going to have to get to a point where he can manage it, play with it, ice it, stim, get there early, treat it. I don't think you can go cortisone for tendons. Maybe we get Doc on here. Yeah. Cortisone's more for muscles than tendons, because I've had patella tendonitis before, and it's the worst, dude. Like you get out of bed and you can collapse because it's the sharpest jolting pain when you jump, when you hit the brakes. It ain't going anywhere. I'm not trying to be an alarmist here, but if it's this bad where he's missed 5 games, Dibs, this is going to be a management thing for the rest of the season. It's not magically, if he sits tonight, going to go away in 2 more days. He's either going to have to decide, or they are going to have to make a decision that he's going to play with it and suck it up. And if he can, or is it a pain tolerance thing? Is it a thing where I can hurt it worse if I just hit the brakes too hard because it's already It's already inflamed. These are all decisions they're going to have to make. But my thing is, I don't. It's not going away. And if they go deep in the playoff, it's just going to be a thing the rest of the year with him.
But the rest will certainly help. So you rest him tonight against Houston, and if you can beat the Rockets and you realize that you've locked up the 10 at that point, maybe you start to ease him back in down the road and you give him a chance to really get a prolonged rest, because with rest, the 10 to 9 does quiet down. But you're right, FP, in terms of the long haul for the rest of whatever this season's going to be, there's going to be some discomfort in there